And then Usher, post-show,
Went and got married.
What is that?
Hello and welcome to the Share That Scene podcast with me, Heather Steele. Today I'm joined by Georgina, Blaskey and Hough. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Lovely tights, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Really like them.
I really like. They're a brand called Sheer Tex. The name always makes me laugh. It sounds like we've done a collaboration with them. We haven't. They're quite expensive for tights for me, but their sort of thing is that they don't snag or anything. And I've got to say, I'm really clumsy. I get through tights like, I can't think of a comparison, but let's say they don't last very long. But I've had these and a couple of other pairs for a while, and they don't snag.
Love the texture.
They're pet proof.
You've got cats in
I've
the
got
house, haven't you?
Oh, I love the cats so much. Honestly, Mum, if you're watching from your holiday, you're not getting them back. What did everyone get up to at the weekend? Georgina, you had a fun trip away.
I did. I had such a great weekend. It started at 4 a.m. on Friday on the Gatwick Express, so glamorous. And I flew to Venice with my son and we went skiing for the weekend.
Oh,
Just the two of you?
gosh.
Yes.
That is so nice.
Oh my God, it's the first time we've gone away on our own for more than like a day trip.
That's lovely.
And he's 15 and I thought, okay, let's see. And it was great. It was so much fun. The weather was crap. We were skiing. It was raining at the bottom, snowing at the top. So you basically skied really wet the whole day.
Slush.
And we'd never been to this resort, Cortina, before. And we spent 2 days really fighting the elements, kind of digging deep, skiing the whole day, not giving in. And then on the last day, the sun came out and we skied all day till we left that night. So we had the whole day. And suddenly the sky opened up blue, completely blue, not a cloud. And we just saw this incredible scenery that you get in the Dolomites, which is so different from the Alps. So the Alps, it's kind of like really kind of steep valleys and typical kind of triangular peaks, whereas this is kind of these weird volcanic rock outcrops just kind of sticking up. You almost feel like it's a snowy Utah or Grand Canyon.
Oh, wow.
It's so different. And the snow is beautiful because obviously it's been snowing for 3 days. And it was great. Yes, so we were reviewing a hotel called Grand Hotel Savoia, which is in Cortina Centre. And my daughter's revising for her mock A levels over half term. So she was firmly chained to the desk. No holidays allowed. It was always just the two of us, a bit last minute, and we just went with it.
Do you share a room?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And more interestingly, we shared a bathroom.
Ooh. I thought you were going to say the bar.
No, oh God, no. Shared a bathroom, which with a 15-year-old boy he's kind of like, there was sort of scents.
Yes, I bet,
things.
yeah.
He's clean. He's a
That's
clean boy.
good, yeah.
It was... it was great.
Oh,
It
how
was
nice
just
to
nice
do.
to have time with one.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to make that time, and now
Yeah.
I've done it. I'm desperate to kind of carve out. I mean, it doesn't need to be a trip away. It could just be a day trip and lunch together. No one else in the family had ever been to that ski resort before, that we all love skiing. So that's just something that is the only place we've been.
Yeah.
So that's also
your special
pretty
place
cool.
Oh,
It was really nice. Not my usual weekend. Definitely feeling a bit tired from the early start and late finish.
Yeah, 4 a.m.'s a
4 a.m.
nice
and
time
then
to be on
about
the
half
train.
11 last night.
Yeah.
It's weird because we flew into Venice and it's then about 2 hours, an hour and 45, 2 hours drive up the valley. And it's so weird going to Venice but not going to Venice. So then we're at the airport last night and the whole of duty free and everything, it's Carnivale. So we've got like masks and there's all this Venice stuff. It's kind of like, this is so weird.
Yeah. Completely
because we've actually
bypassed
not,
it.
and even flying in, I couldn't see Venice from the plane. Obviously the route the plane took, and then flying out it was dark, so just lots of lights. So that feels a bit surreal. I feel like I should have stayed another 24 hours and walked around Venice or something, but maybe another time.
Another time.
That's what's hard thing when you pass through any, like, even if you're on a flight, layover flight.
Yeah.
It's
just
a shame
surreal.
to just miss it.
Yeah.
Lou, what did you get up to? Or what have you been
We
up to?
had a very chilled weekend. We saw some friends who've got twins. We went to Victoria Park.
Oh, sweet.
I felt like my mum when we went there, and it's so cool around there.
Who knew?
I had my first Pophams pastry.
Oh, they are good. What do you think? Because you are a big pastry fan, I
I am a
think.
big pastry fan. I thought it was delicious.
I think that Pophams is great.
Really, I think it tasted better than it looked, actually.
Yeah.
I had the chocolate croissant and Lewis had the cardamom bun.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like 10 out of 10 sensational.
Nice.
But
There
we
are
were both
keys
we were
for a
both kind of
reason.
talking to other people whilst we're eating it. And we were like, we kind of want to go back and like just focus on just eating.
Just eat that pastry in peace.
Exactly.
So is it a one-off?
No, there are quite a
there's
few.
I think there's 3
Yeah.
maybe.
Oh,
And
good.
yeah, it's just, well, on the edge of the parkish. Incredibly busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just so many nice little delis and shops. It's an amazing
Yeah.
fragrance shop, like pretty much opposite there. And then, yeah, my daughter is just like every weekend she's like walking now everywhere, but like running
sweet.
everywhere. And I literally feel like a few minutes ago she'd like just started crawling, so she very much feels just like a proper toddler now.
Cute.
So just like soaking that up, and like she's like really just developing a character and like understanding things and like copying what you say, and like she knows that she can't grab a mug of tea, but she like will really try, and then sort of like teeters on the edge, and you're like no, and she's like looking at you. So we're kind of watching her and just like absorbing her all weekend, and
So nice.
you know, like learning words, and it's just so lush.
You've got to watch your language now.
I know. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's just amazing.
It's such a lovely stage as well. We just did in the parenting edition, we had an interview with Anna Mather, who's a therapist, and she's got 3 kids, and she was talking about the toddler stage, how it's they really develop their personality and their nuances, and their kind of it sort of gets a bad rap as being like toddler tantrums, but that's obviously a frustration of kind of communication and all the no's that they get with the hot tea and whatever. But she was also saying, like, when they start walking and you kind of go for a walk with them, they stop and they kind of look at everything like, look at this, and it makes you as a mum, if you go with it, kind of really slow down and like see the world again through their eyes.
It's like generally every stage, just seeing like the magic through her eyes. Like I took her to the aquarium on Friday, and like I took her when she was a little baby, and it was more like a sensory experience. But just watching her like see the something move, which like has got colours, and it's just so sweet to see. And like, I mean, like obviously like standard, like, you know, the little flip book things, and like when she realizes she said a word correctly and we get excited, and she like is so proud of herself, and she's like, you know, I'm just like crawling around after her on the floor, and she was like, she had her first like real like giggle, like not like giggling fit. She was like hysterical for about half an hour. I was like, have you secretly had some sugar?
Who gave you some brioche?
But no, so we were just chilling and watched a bit of TV. I want some like light-hearted entertainment. So we started watching One Day.
Yes.
Which is my favourite book of all time.
I did know this, so I was hoping that, well, I thought you'd have seen it because I've seen it as well, but I remember you're a big David Nichols fan.
Love the book. The first film, I mean, what a disaster. And I really want to like it, and I'm going to keep going. I'm like 3 in. I just don't believe their chemistry.
Interesting.
What did you think?
So yeah, I've watched it all. I watched it all a couple of weeks ago because I got press access to watch them all. And yeah, I don't know how I feel having watched it all. Like I did... overall, I did really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really smart, especially compared to the film.
Yeah.
Should probably say, in case someone hasn't read or watched it, which is probably very few people, but yeah, it's about 2 people who meet on the last day of university in 1988, and then the rest of the book is then that very same day for the rest, you know, up until 2007, and it's what they were doing on that day.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it works with the book. The film couldn't, I guess it just would have been impossible to try and like cram as much in to a however long 2 hours. But I think what the series was successful at was each episode was dedicated to one of those days, so it felt successful because each story or meeting or life journey or you know key moment in their lives was sort of given time to breathe and explore. I think as it gets darker, I suppose, it starts getting more interesting.
I'm gonna keep going because I love, like, I'm not enjoying it, and I love the storyline of it, but I guess from loving the book, I feel so like committed to those characters.
Yeah, of course,
so
attached.
to then like, I don't know.
What is it?
Maybe
Is
it'll
it
come.
him or her?
I think
both.
it's not either of them. I just think they don't have the chemistry, like, that they're so drawn to each other. Like, I've seen, and I was like, in Normal People.
Yeah.
That chemistry was just off the scale.
Or even in Bridgerton, the first Bridgerton.
Yeah.
All that gratuitous sex in Bridgerton. Obviously,
Sorry, that
the first one.
Yeah.
But you felt the chemistry on screen.
Yeah.
And it was.
But in
really
Bridgerton, I definitely felt it the first one. I didn't then feel it for the second one.
No, but just that first one.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was like collar.
You needed to go and have a lie down after every episode.
But no, you are right. I do agree. I do think both of them acted really well. I
think
really
they're both
believed
fantastic.
the characters.
And do you know what? I didn't like him in White Lotus.
Oh yeah, so the guy who's playing Dexter was the sort of cheeky chappy
Essex
Brit-
boy.
in the second series of the White Lotus.
Yeah.
And the actress who's played M, she was in This Is Going to Hurt, in a minor character, but this is her first sort of lead role, I think.
Okay, I've seen something else, definitely.
Oh, have you? That's the one they're sort of billing her as being in.
I think they're both brilliant in it. It's just together.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to keep going because Charlotte absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And I've seen, other people really singing its praises. I'll keep going.
Yeah,
but I want like a light-hearted, warm, cozy something.
Cozy. I haven't watched it yet, but there was Smothered, which was on.
I've watched that.
Yeah, was that cozy? It looked like funny.
Yeah,
it's sort of rom-com.
It was. So it's written by Monica Heisey, who was one of the screenwriters on Schitt's Creek and actually came on one of our book club podcasts. And she is the writer of it. And I think it's only something like 6 parts, and each one's about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. They're not long. And it was it had a bit of a Christmas finish to the episode. So I actually watched it at Christmas, but it's not set at Christmas. You can watch it anytime. And it's about, God, if I can remember, it's about a guy and a girl who meet and they decide they're going to have a short affair. And that's going to be
no strings type thing.
No string. And then they're just going to
with
walk.
other people?
No.
Oh.
But, sorry, okay, not an affair then, a relationship.
No. Yeah, just a fling.
A fling. And they then decide it's going to be whatever it is, 6 weeks. So for 6 weeks, they're having the time of their life. So the first episode or 2 is just them in the throes of this gorgeous, light, lovely relationship.
Fun.
And it's, really fun, but really tender, actually, as well. And then slowly, obviously, it gets a bit more complicated and feelings develop and certain things happen along the way. And there are sort of reveals and things like that. But it stays really true to its sense of light love story.
Okay.
So it's kind of a nice feel good.
And what's it on?
Sky and Now TV.
Interesting.
So that might fit the bill if you're after like a fun rom-com.
Shrinking is still... basically, I want a version of Shrinking, which is my favourite thing I've watched last year.
Yeah.
What do you think your favourite ever series is? If you could kind of go back and consume it like from the beginning, but without having watched it.
Oh, because last weekend I watched the first ever episode of Brothers and Sisters.
Oh God, I loved that when that was on.
I loved, and when I watched that first episode, I was like, God, I forgot how good this is.
Yes, I loved
It's got
that.
everything.
Okay.
It's like family drama, quite funny in places. It's got that. It's American, so it's Callista Flockhart plays the main daughter.
Ally McBeal.
Yeah, and this is at her peak. So this is old. I mean, this was...
It came on I don't know, maybe 15 years ago. Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, so post-millennial.
Oh, I don't know.
No,
it's
actually,
probably,
no.
It's probably one of those where you're like, it's like 10 years ago, but it was 20.
Like, maybe about 50. So Sally Field is the mum.
Yeah.
And then there's like 5 kids or something.
Yeah.
Balthazar Getty is one of the sons.
Rob Lowe
becomes involved with one of the characters. Don't want to spoil anything.
I just remember him being in it.
And it's this huge American family. They live in California, in Ojai. They run some kind of, is it oranges they grow or something? Anyway, they live in like a beautiful house. They've done really well. All the kids, there's kind of the wayward surfer son.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's all these different storylines. They're all overlapping. The siblings all love each other, but they all bicker. Oh, Matthew Rhys is the brother.
Yes. Yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant. And that, I would go back. That and This Is Us.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bit like This Is Us. If
Okay.
you haven't watched
I haven't
it.
seen This Is
that
Us.
sentiment.
I've seen
need
a
to see
couple
it.
of them, but not nothing.
I did speak about it the other week, but yeah, Sopranos for me. I would watch that
yes.
all over again. That's what we want to do when we're not enjoying something, a series.
Yeah.
Like, should we just watch The Sopranos again?
I thought that the other day, actually, when I was watching something I wasn't enjoying. I thought, should I just start Succession again?
Oh, yeah.
You know, knowing the end, I think it could be quite interesting as well.
Yeah,
I think
look at it
so.
through like a different lens again.
Yeah, and know what's coming.
How about you, Lou?
Yeah, Succession is definitely up there. Like normal people just really sat with me, but I don't know if it was a lockdown thing, that having the kind of the stillness in the rest of your life. I don't know. I'd be interested to see how if it would affect me differently.
I know what you mean.
Now.
We were talking about normal people earlier in the context of one day around the desk, and I was like, maybe it was a lockdown thing, because people were rabid for it.
But honestly, I remember on the final episode, I bawled my eyes out, and my husband came through and was like, "What is going on?" And I was like, and then literally he was like, "This must be amazing, like you have been so transfixed on the show that we then started it again the following day from the beginning, because he hadn't watched it." So I watched it back to back, and loved it again the second time. So I think that's probably the thing that's like sat with me the most. But Succession, I think, is the best bit of acting.
So good. Speaking of what to watch while we're on the subject, has anyone seen The Holdovers?
No, I've heard loads about it.
Oh, it's so
really want to see
good. I saw it a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't been on the podcast since. But it's one of the Oscar contenders. But it's just excellent. It's set in the 80s in a sort of posh New England boarding school, and it's the Christmas holidays, and Paul Giamatti's like playing this very sort of curmudgeonly professor. He's sort of very set in his ways, like wears tweed, and it's like a classics professor who like does things his way, and as sort of punishment for not being sort of, I wouldn't say not being nice to the boys, but basically he's just not getting the game that the head teacher's got, where it's like, yes, these boys are little shits, but their parents pay a lot of money for them to be here, so we've got to make sure they pass their exams, sort of thing. So his punishment is that he has to look after the holdovers, which are basically the kids who can't go home for Christmas for various different reasons.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Honestly, it's brilliant. So then, it's like, obviously 80s, which is great anyway. New England boarding school, like the ultimate setting, like think The Secret History, prep, Sittenfeld, that sort of vibe. And so it's him, this one kid who's a newcomer called Dominic Sesso is his actor name. He's really, really good in it. And this amazing cook who's got a bit of a tragic backstory, and basically the three of them are just left in this big old school for 10 days.
Oh, I love the
It's
sound of
really
that.
good. It's so funny, like absolutely hilarious. Like it was one of those where you're watching it and everyone in the cinema is like properly hooting with laughter and chuckling. But it's also got loads of sort of amazing, subtle sort of references to what was going on in history back then, and just, everyone's got a bit of a backstory that's slowly revealed. But it's essentially a sort of almost father-son sort of drama between Paul Giamatti and the students sort of coming together. But it's excellent. I would really
There's
recommend
so many
it.
things I want to go and see at the cinema. And
at the moment,
I mean, we're trying to watch loads of the Oscar contenders, so we've seen a lot of them as they've come out.
Have you seen All of Our Strangers yet?
No, not yet.
I'm so
I want to
desperate
see
that.
that. You were disappointed?
No, I'm so desperate
Oh,
to see
sorry,
it.
I thought you said I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, my mum saw it and she said it was like absolutely
incredible. I've like chatted to lots of people who've seen it. It sounds really good.
And
but I haven't got
American
around to it.
Fiction.
American Fiction with Jeffrey Wright. Haven't seen that yet. Anatomy of a Fall is now on Amazon Prime, so I'm going to watch that this weekend. That's the sort of French murder mystery. There's also
apparently that's excellent.
Yeah. So
So
lots
many
going
things.
on.
So many.
But everyone's saying, Cillian's probably the front runner for Best Actor Oscar, but lots of people, and apparently Paul Giamatti's getting a bit of a last minute bit of wind behind his sails, which is interesting.
So this is the same director as Sideways, isn't
Exactly.
it? That he did about tasting essentially
Wine.
Pinot Noir, but wine in Napa Valley.
Yeah, which is another sort of buddy comedy with a serious edge, I would say. But no, it's very good.
Who were the other nominations for that category?
Well, so Cillian, there's Bradley Cooper for Maestro. I don't think Andrew Scott's in it. He's been nominated for a BAFTA for All of Us Strangers, but I don't think he's got one. I think Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction could be in it as well. what were the other? Ryan Gosling, or is he up for supporting actor? Because
Bobby.
Yeah, because he got nominated for either Best Actor or Best Supporting Actor, and then Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig didn't get nominated, but it's been nominated for Best Picture. So people are like, how can it be Best Picture if you're lead actress and you're not getting?
I don't even
director.
know why it's been nominated. I thought it was a lovely movie.
Yes.
Like, I didn't hate it. I actually quite liked it.
Yeah.
It's not a Oscar movie.
No way.
And nor is he in it. I mean, he's definitely better than La La
And I think
Land.
he knows it.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Did you see that clip where he won Best Song?
And he's like me.
It must be quite embarrassing.
Yeah.
Because he must hope. I mean, it's a fun film, but it was paid for by Mattel. I mean, the whole thing just feels a bit off.
It's agree. He has actually put out a statement, hasn't he, being like, you know, I'm happy for my own nomination, thank you for the honour, but, you know, how can you not have looked at the other people who are way more involved in the film than I was?
Because they don't deserve it, and nor does he.
Well, I think some people are saying it just goes, the Barbie message about women being overlooked in favour of the men, and then it's like, oh, guess who got nominated? The man. So it's kind of interesting, but I mean, hopefully none of them.
But is that because also the female category is, so for Best Female, is it so overpopulated with such brilliant performances that there was just no room for Barbie?
Possibly. I think Emma Stone for Poor Things is quite a shoe-in for Best Actress, but
has she won one before?
Yeah, La La Land.
She did win.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that film.
Do you know? I really do.
Poor Things. It just, everything I read about it.
Charlotte said it was incredible. She absolutely
But I can
loved
see lots of people probably like, what is this?
Yeah. And when I saw them on Graham Norton and I saw a clip of it, I was just like, oh, it's just not for me.
It's weird, and if you don't really like weird films, even if they're good looking, it's probably not for you. No. And that's fine.
That's fine.
Not every
I'll wait
film
till it's
is
free
for
on
everyone.
TV. I'll watch half an hour and then go, maybe just another episode of Brothers and
there
Sisters.
There we
go. So other than TV, Heather, what did you get up to this weekend?
So I had a really nice weekend, actually. It was my boyfriend's birthday. I don't really like my own birthday, so I kind of go all out for his and do the stuff that I'd want to do for my birthday, but for his.
Jolly.
Yeah, great. So we met at Somerset House. We met his mum and sisters and had a panettone outside, which was fun. And then we went to...
A panettone? This time of year. Would not have put the two and two together.
A sister had just come back from Turin, bought this panettone. It was the best one I've ever had. So we had that outside, and then we went to the Courtauld, which is in Somerset House, because that's been redone recently. Went to the new Frank Auerbach exhibition that had just opened on the Friday. I don't know if you've read anything about him recently. He's basically this incredible artist. He's 92 years old and he's got a studio in Mornington Crescent, and he basically paints these charcoal pictures every single day, like every day, without fail, and has done for decades and decades.
Wow.
Doesn't go on holiday. He just has his very rigid artistic routine.
So is he a recluse as well?
A little bit, I think. I don't know that much about that per se, but the exhibition at the moment are these sort of charcoal drawings he did of people in the 50s and 60s, and they're just incredibly powerful. They're quite creepy on first instance, because basically what he used to do, like about 50 or 60 drawings of people, he'd do one on a bit of paper and then he'd erase it, and then the next day he'd do it again and erase it. So there's loads of like bits of paper that have been sort of fixed and sort of, you know, patched up basically. And his end drawing would be, he'd basically keep doing it so that he could finally get the essence of the person from having done something many, many, many times. And then what the result is these sort of very powerful portraits that are very amazing. But yeah, he he's got a really tragic life. There was a really good Radio 4 interview with him recently, because he fled Nazi Germany when he was, I think he was 6 or 7 years old, and came over to the UK. His parents died in the Holocaust, and then he was an orphan over here, and then that art's become his escape, and doing these amazing portraits was sort of his way of getting to know family members who also managed to escape and kind of get to the essence of them. It sounds all very, very depressing, but it's one of those exhibitions where when you're there and you're really like searching these pictures, it's incredible. I really would recommend going. We did that. Nice. And then we went to Chinatown, had a really amazing duck at the Four Seasons on Gerrard Street, which was excellent. And then the two of us stayed at the Cadogan Hotel, which is a Belmond one or just off Sloane Square, which was really amazing. I'd heartily recommend it. Very beautiful hotel. And basically just sort of walked around London in the sun yesterday, which was unexpected.
Oh, it was so beautiful.
Mooched about, went to the new Conran shop just off Sloane Square.
Oh, what's it like?
Really beautiful, really nicely done.
Nice.
Yeah, like the merchandising element of it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like I came away with like, right, want that. It was really good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, had a lovely time.
Nice.
I found this stat quite staggering, and I was watching it. So apparently, this was on the BBC this morning, the Super Bowl 2024 was the most watched US TV broadcast since the moon landing.
That's wild.
Which is mad.
Crazy.
Mad.
And is that American audience or global?
It says US TV broadcast, but I don't think it's actually including the global figures, which is presumably even more.
Especially with streaming now and everything.
With streaming. So it was watched by an average of 123.4 million people in the US. Yeah, making it the most watched broadcast since 123.4 million people.
So 123 million
people watched the Super Bowl.
I can't fathom that many people.
That is just wild. And they were watching the Kansas City Chiefs beat the San Francisco 49ers. And essentially, I thought I'd bring it up, A, because I watch the Super Bowl and do every year and think it's a lot of fun, but B, lots of people are crediting Taylor Swift's current involvement with the NFL with the reason why so many people watched it.
So her involvement is that her boyfriend plays for one of these teams?
Exactly. So she is currently going out with Travis Kelce, who's a tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, and
Did they win?
They did. Unfortunately for me as a Bengals fan, that was like the worst possible outcome. But
Taylor was happy.
She was, but it was funny actually watching it. So I watched it at there's the Stafford Hotel in Mayfair, but it's got an American bar, like the Savoy and other ones, but it's one of the sort of oldest American bars in London, and every year they do an amazing Super Bowl party, so you're like, let's go and experience that, and it was really, really fun. Also, I don't know, I feel not sorry for the staff because they were really getting into it, but I mean, the Super Bowl didn't finish until 4:15 on Monday morning, and they were all there in great spirits,
well,
like joining in.
Yeah,
exactly. So we watched that which was a lot of fun, but it was funny watching it because for the first time ever, obviously, since I've watched it before, it wasn't all about the sport. Like, obviously, the halftime show is always a massive deal. And it was Usher who did it this year, which was really fun. But I feel like no one's really talking about that. Everyone's talking about Taylor and the broadcast. It just kept showing her in her box with Blake Lively. Every opportunity they got, they're like, and what's Taylor doing? What's Taylor doing? I mean, Beyonce was there, like, Jay-Z was there, like, Leo was there, like, every big celebrity was there. But you got, like, a very quick glance at them. It was like, Taylor Swift.
The producers obviously knew who was watching.
But how wild that essentially because of that.
It's now numbers. I saw some pictures and it was like, here's Taylor's box, here's the Kardashian box.
Oh, yeah,
and then the Kardashian box, they're all like chatting, looking at their phones. I mean, clearly they'd just chosen the right photos. And it was all like, kind of like they didn't really want to be there, but they were there. Yeah. And then Taylor's box, it's like, wow!
Yeah, it was.
Super Bowl! And like fully embracing. And there's loads of different pictures and who was in her box.
Yes.
And all these different,
Ice Spice, the rapper Ice Spice was in her box as well. But no, it was just fascinating. I feel like there has been this real cultural shift.
It's amazing the kind of, it's like Hollywood and pop and sport kind of all perfectly coming together, because I saw some pictures in the paper this morning of like Beyonce's boots, and she's in this kind of like amazing. She wasn't performing, was she?
No, she wasn't.
She was just wearing this.
She
it looked like
amazing.
A stage outfit. And these black over the knee with something coming out the back, stiletto. Incredible. Yeah. The hair done. I mean, it was like a Met Gala thing almost. And then Usher post show
went and got married.
What is that? So, do you know? I mean, all I saw was the headline: Usher went and got married after he performed at the Super Bowl.
For most musicians, like playing the Super Bowl halftime show is like the ultimate honour. Like, it's bigger than playing like any other event, any arena, any tour.
Reach is massive.
Yeah, well, clearly this year as well. So it's like the ultimate, and I suppose you can only really do it once. So it just, I guess, proves that you're at like the height of your powers. Yeah. So I guess he was just like, well, I've done that. Why don't we go get married? So he did. I only found that out this morning, actually.
How much reckon they get paid?
I don't know. Must be a hell of a lot.
Tens of millions.
Yeah.
But you don't think it's like, it's not actually that much because it's like the
honour.
The honour. Exactly.
I know what you mean, but I think with some people they definitely need to have a bit of a. It's a bit of both, because some people probably aren't that bothered about doing it. But
should we Google?
They're the biggest.
Yeah. Let's just have a quick look. Because actually, that would be really interesting.
Georgina, any stats?
Not being paid.
Oh, they don't get
not
paid.
Being paid other than union scale, a minimum guaranteed in a union contract, according to published reports.
Interesting.
So he'll follow other major performers in earning less than the price of admission, if anything at all.
Oh wow.
So I guess, though, people having seen him will stream his music, buy his album. So he's going to obviously reap the reward.
Exactly. And like you say, it's the honour.
It's the press around it.
Exactly. Also, I bet the production costs are just insane, so they probably have to put quite a lot of cash into that.
Yeah, and 15 minutes.
Yeah. I've been listening to Usher since, so it worked on me. It worked on me.
My favourite Peloton workout is to an Usher playlist.
Which one? Oh, a playlist.
It's all his greats, and it's Ben Aldis, who's Leanne Hainsby's boyfriend or fiance, and he was talking about it, and he was saying, and then Usher came on a call with all of us instructors, and he told us how in the show he tries to like bring the audience up, and then there's a calm bit, and then he brings them up again, and that's what I'm trying to do in my fitness workout. So I was like, go Ben, go Usher, and it's great. I mean, his music actually really does bring you along. So I'm gonna have to watch that performance. Actually.
Yeah, it's good. I don't think his mic was working at the start. Either that or it was quite quiet in the bar, but then it kicks off. But I did listen to Usher when I was getting ready yesterday morning, so it did the job. Nice. Great. Cool. Enough about the Super Bowl. I could talk about that forever. We've got to wait till September for NFL to be back on my screens at home anyway. But now we're going to answer some questions. And first of all, we're currently working with Curél. So Charlotte has sat down with Adeola and Sapna to answer some of your skincare questions.
We are in deepest, darkest winter, so naturally, we're getting a lot of skincare questions. We should say, this is your first time.
I know, I was just going to say.
Hang on, this is exciting.
I'm going to have to leave all my slaves at the door. This is usually the
leave your
slaves
at the door. That's so good.
But yeah, excited.
Welcome to the Big Girl Sofa. Adeola, you're here as well.
Hi.
It's so nice to see you. How are you?
So good to see you guys. I love being in the office with you lot.
Your teeth look so amazing.
I know,
Have you done something?
It's so fun. I'm actually going to get them clean this afternoon, and I'm so happy.
Have you had bonding done?
Yes, I have.
They look incredible.
I've had it for over a year now. Maybe you just haven't.
Maybe I haven't seen you properly to talk. They look incredible.
Thank you.
Anyway, the point of us being here is we're going to talk about winter skin, winter skincare. It's that, winter takes its toll, right?
It really does, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you have dry or already combination skin. It's
exactly.
Just like that.
Exactly. So we have crowdsourced all of your questions, and I'm going to basically put them to our experts. Let's start with why. Why does winter give us more breakouts, more dry skin?
I think because, our skin is under so much pressure, especially during the winter. Not only do you have your natural sort of skin type, whatever that might be, whether it's combination, oily skin, dry skin, and then you have all these elements. So, for example, central heating, we're cranking up the heating because it's so cold. The cold weather, that can wreak havoc on your skin as well. So it's up against all of these elements, as well as also having your actual skin concerns that you might have. So it's really kind of, figuring out what those issues are, but then making sure that you're not overloading your skin with too much.
That can, presumably the products you're using, makeup, whatever, that can also, you need to alter those.
Shuffle.
Exactly.
So I think it's also your moisture barrier. When it's drier, it is just not as strong, and so you need much more moisturization and a lot richer formulas and things like that.
Good to know. Okay, let's get straight into it then. Somebody has said recommendations for products for those with dry, sensitive skin. I should say, this section is in partnership with Curél, which is a Japanese skincare brand, so you guys are going to talk about those products, but we really genuinely, I know you both in particular, really rate those products. Can you tell us a bit about them first?
They're so affordable. I think it's the ceramides, isn't it, that they have really supercharged the formulas.
And sorry, what do ceramides do?
They're So ceramides are essentially lipids that are, really good, like the building blocks of your skin. So kind of think of them as like a defense mechanism to really strengthen your skin's barrier. And I think that's the most important thing. If your skin is dry, you tend to have a more weakened skin barrier. So things like, for example, the cold weather, the heating, they're really going to have a massive effect on your skin. So loading your skin with those lipids and hydrating and moisturizing your skin really is that defense mechanism to keep your skin really nice and strong.
Got you.
And I think if, like me, your skin's quite sensitive, this is such a clean, like, simple brand. There's not, like, tons of fragrance or anything like that. So if you've got sensitive skin, it's great.
And it's a Japanese skincare brand. And when you think about
everything,
innovation and technology, they're so advanced.
Yeah.
So a lot of us, like, especially in the skincare and beauty industry, we look to the Japanese sort of, like, culture and what they do to their skin, because they're really, like, they know their skin when it comes to, like, skincare.
They care. It is also dermatologist recommended, we should say. Okay, so products for dry sensitive skin. What do Curél do so well?
My personal favourite is a deep moisture spray, which I absolutely love because anyone can use it regardless of what your skin type is, but it's really good for layering. So I think especially in the winter, what you don't want to do is just go straight in with a very thick moisturizer, because that just sits on the top layer of the skin. So what I like to do is layer. So in between your skincare steps, you can actually spray, and it's super hydrating. So the first thing after you cleanse your skin, you can go in with the spray, and then go in with your like serums, and then go in with your moisturizer, and it's really, really packed full of ceramides, again, which we spoke about earlier, to really help strengthen your skin's barrier.
That's interesting. So you don't necessarily, if you're scared of a rich cream, because a lot of people are, because they worry it might clog their pores or something like that, you can use like a lighter moisturizer plus the spray.
Absolutely, especially if you're doing those layering steps, you don't have to necessarily go straight in for a thick, rich moisturizer.
Is that also a good hack if you are doing your makeup and so therefore you're worried it's going to just slide off your face, which seems to happen to me all the time? That works.
Especially if you get pilling as well. When you get those little bits, it's
stressful.
typically because you're wearing a moisturizer that's too rich for your skin. So what you can do to kind of avoid that is actually go for lighter products and layer it, as opposed to going for a rich moisturizer.
Interesting. So that's never to do with the makeup, that's always to do with the moisturizer.
Always, to do with too much skin product.
However, if you do want a thick moisturizer, there is a Curél one you love, right?
Yeah, it's the Intensive Moisture Facial Cream. Yeah. It is so good, and I like it more in the evenings, because like you said, I don't really want to like put it on before makeup. But when you wake up, your skin literally feels so smooth and so hydrated, because that is when I feel it the most, is when you wake up in the morning and you just feel a bit like stripped.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely recommend
after the morning shower when it's all so tight.
Oh my god, yeah.
Can I ask you a question? If you want a fake tan in winter, what do you do about moisturizers? Like if your skin is particularly dry but you still want to be tanning, what should you kind of do, like process-wise?
I think it's still very important to hydrate and moisturize your skin, especially if you're going to be going in with, a self tanner or a fake tan,
because they're quite dry.
Can be quite dry for the skin. What I would recommend is, again, going in with the Curél products that are very hydrating and moisturizing, and also exfoliating as well is a very key thing that I think a lot of people tend to forget when it comes to getting like a really beautiful even tan. Exfoliate your skin, hydrate your skin, and that will give you the best results.
I can't have you here without a little tan question. Okay, somebody's asked a similar question actually. How can I get my makeup to sit well on my dry, flaky winter skin? What skincare can I use?
Yeah, again, definitely with the hydration. And again, exfoliation is very, very important, because when you're removing that sort of dull layer of skin, your makeup just sits so much more beautifully. I don't know if you guys find that as well.
100%. And cleansing really well as well. Curél have a makeup cleansing gel, which I feel like whenever I use it, it just adds that hydration, but it also just makes my skin feel so smooth. Because again, it's that whole moisture barrier thing. Once you've put that into your skin, it just feels so much smoother. And
actually, it is a good point, because just going back to that tightness, that feeling when you wash your face with a drying cleanser or whatever it is, a gel, and that tightness is so horrible. So
it just strips your skin. That's what it does. Yeah.
Ugh, horrible. Yeah. Somebody has also asked, similar vein, eczema flare up, help. What can I use?
Yeah, I think the ceramides in the sort of whole range of Curél will be really, really good. Again, just to kind of reinforce your skin's barrier, and also to help nourish and protect the skin, because a lot of people that do suffer with eczema, especially with that skin condition, protection is so key.
Yeah. That's amazing actually, because that's quite a serious skin condition and concern, so that's cool that the whole range works for that. Somebody has asked about winter breakouts. Why does my skin get more breakouts in winter? What can I do to bust them? Talk to me about the foaming facial wash.
Well, Adeola, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's because of your moisture barrier. Again, when it is colder and your moisture barrier isn't as strong, you get more spots because your skin just needs the hydration. Yeah. So something like the foaming facial wash, or even they have a really good essence, that'd be really good for just building that back up and making sure that you're not getting all those spots.
And also I find that in the winter, your cell turnover with your skin slows down considerably. So those sort of like new layers of skin that come to the surface aren't happening as often. And so then you find that your pores can get clogged. So again, it's really important to have a very good cleansing routine. Curél do a very fantastic cleansing oil, which you can obviously do with double cleansing, just to make sure that you're getting all your SPF and your makeup off. So you would obviously go in with the cleansing oil first, and then you'd obviously go in with the face gel afterwards. And that will literally like remove your makeup, but leave your skin really nice and kind of hydrated without feeling stripped. And ensuring that you get that raw, thorough cleanse without stripping your skin is so important.
I want to know what your thing is about double cleansing, because I keep seeing all these debates about how in the morning you actually shouldn't. Like, what do you think about that?
Can I just say I don't even cleanse in the morning?
At all, yeah.
Nope.
A lot of people
Water.
aren't.
I've always, it's like that's the old school way. But I've never cleansed in the morning.
I think it's down to preference. I've got more of a combination to oilier skin. So for me, I feel like I need to. But again, it's down to the products, I think, so more so. So if you are going for very stripping products, I wouldn't recommend doing like a whole sort of double cleansing routine because it can be a bit too much. But for me personally, I'll probably go with like a foaming face wash in the morning, and then maybe like a double cleanse with a facial oil to kind of remove the makeup and the SPF in the evening, and then a face wash afterwards if you feel like you need it. But drier skins can go for more of a hydrating cleanser, and that's it.
Yeah, I would feel like it must be down to, I'm no expert, but for me, I feel like I need the double cleanse in the evening because I've got to take off the makeup and then clean my face, and so you kind of need that. Yeah. Can I ask you both about oils, because people are so scared of oil, but I feel like nothing hydrates me more at this time of year than a good oil.
I've never really used them, but recently from TikTok, I've seen that people are using them to get rid of their blackheads. So they basically like they put it onto dry skin and rub it in, and then you emulsify it with water, and the blackheads literally just that you can see it on their hands
With any oil?
with like a facial, like a cleansing oil. Yeah.
No way.
I really want to try it. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds fun and satisfying.
I do love an oil. Again, because of a combination oily skin, people with oily skin tend to kind of steer away from it. But what I do find is that the oilier the skin, you tend to lack water and hydration. And then obviously because your skin is lacking that hydration, you're producing more oil. So to help to balance that out, introducing oil-based products into your routine can be very good. I would probably start with a cleansing oil, because that way you're not leaving it on the skin, you're actually washing it off, but it's one of the best ways to break down your makeup. And then if you do feel that you need that extra bit of protection, then maybe kind of mixing a couple of drops of your oil in with your moisturizer is quite good. Or it's always that last step, because remember, your oil's not then there to moisturize, it's there to protect the skin.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Okay,
exactly.
interesting. I love nothing more than like a working from home day and just like pouring oil on my face. I'm like, this is it. Just hydrate me, but it doesn't do that.
Yeah,
so, okay, we might need to
exactly.
rethink
So
that.
it's more like your sort of like last layer to kind of like lock everything in.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. I learned so much from you. Okay. Finally, someone has asked, I feel like this is the age-old question. How can I treat very dry skin around my eyes? I can't find an eye cream strong enough.
Yeah, so Curél actually do the Moisture Eye Cream Essence, which I think is really, really lovely, because when you think about the under eye area, it's a lot more thinner than the rest of your face. I always think of it as like, you wouldn't use your body cream on your face. So the same thing is that you wouldn't use your facial moisturiser around the eyes, because the under eye area is a lot thinner. It doesn't hold well in terms of like a heavier product. So actually having targeted products for the eye area is fantastic. And this one's really hydrating, really soothing, but also super lightweight. So it's not going to kind of clog the area as well.
Well, thanks both. You are both fountains of knowledge. Hopefully that was helpful for those listening to bust winter skin. Not long left, ladies. We're nearly there. A couple of weeks, couple of months. Although I remember saying that last January and it took till like June. So like, you might want to invest now. So you can shop the whole Curél range at boots.com. Go check it out now. Thank you so much.
Cool, that was excellent. So community questions, I want to hear from you two now. First of all, somebody is asking about how to style grey denim jeans with other grey items. I feel like I've seen both of you in grey denim jeans at one stage or another.
Yeah, do you know, I'm wearing some now. I'm actually really into a washed black, so not a light grey, I think a darker grey, kind of like this tone now. And yeah, I work mine a lot with grey on grey. I think it's just about different tones. There are obviously a lot of shades of grey.
That's true, 50.
So, all 50 of them. So, yeah, I think you can totally mix and match. And, like, grey, I think it just kind of goes with everything. I think it's really nice with all little white pops. So, if I was wearing a grey jumper I would maybe have a little, like a white t-shirt just popping out the top
Yes.
or underneath or in the sleeve or something, just to kind of, you don't want it to look too like kind of murky, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think white just gives it a little bit of a fresh pop somewhere in the outfit, or like a metallic detail. So like add a belt, add some silver jewelry. I just think that you need something bright just to break up the dark.
Nice, I can picture that. Georgina?
So with that, what would you wear on your feet? Do you think black boots? If you're going for the lighter grey, because I've got the dark kind of washed black jeans.
Yeah.
But I remember a few years ago definitely having those kind of paler grey jeans that lots of people were wearing. And I think it's hard if you go paler and you're then paler on top as well. Like, what should you do? Go for like white boots?
I would still go black. And then whether
Black
you have
belt.
like a black belt or a black like handbag or coat or something, that sandwich rule, just to kind of break it up a little bit. I would go black. Or then like silver. There's a lot of amazing like silver kind of more modern ballet flats, which are around everywhere, which I think look great.
I've
with
got some amazing, really cool,
amazing.
like the shape of them just makes them much cooler, I think.
Or even there's a lot of mesh flats around this season, inspired by the Alaya shoes or that kind of fishnet style. So I think they then offer, with a kind of lighter grey, a slight, like a less kind of stark end to your look. And you can get some kind of studded ones. So I feel like there's lots of options.
Yeah, nice. And then finally, Georgina, I think this is up your street. Somebody is throwing their younger sister a surprise 30th dinner party at home.
Sweet.
And then she says,
lovely.
surprise in inverted commas, as she's fully in on this. Which I'm like, yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah.
Have you ever had a surprise party?
No, because I think everyone would know I would die. Like, I would hate it. It's like my worst. I'd probably be like, ugh, and just leave. I would hate that. No.
Have you?
No, but I think I would quite like it. But I would hate to turn up feeling shabby though.
Yeah.
So
Oh
I need to be sold a really good lie. Like, we're going to this really fancy, lovely place, or you should wear that, and
That's a
there
good
might be
point.
something surprising happening there, and then kind of decoy me to something else. Then I could go with that version of the surprise.
Yeah.
But if I'm in like jeans, trainers, hair scrape back, and everyone's sort of like, right now I have to go and have a shower, and I've got to go and get a blow dry. Not good.
No, Lou, would you like a surprise?
Yeah, similar to that. I think the idea of it literally makes me want to like crawl under a pillow and die. But I think actually, like, I just think like such a lovely, the thought of it like brings me so much joy. The thought that someone has thought, I'd really like to do this for this person, and like all those people turning up. I just think that's true.
I quite like the idea of everyone being in on something. Not against you, but that you're not part of, but then you are part of.
Yeah,
I think
actually,
it's quite fun.
Any I've been to or helped organise, I think the surprisee has been like, oh my god, but then actually had an
and I think
amazing
really
time.
like overwhelmed with emotion of like, wow, these people really care about me. That's really sweet.
So back to the original question. Looking for any table game, food, drink ideas, or decoration recommendations.
Table game.
Yes, games, or I think they just mean like what
activities to do.
Exactly, they're gonna have a dinner party. The guest knows it's a surprise, but they're all in on it. But what sort of, I guess, finishing touches maybe, or little extras?
I don't know. I feel like you've got to be careful not to get into kind of hen-do game territory.
That's true. That's true.
But
any like nice decor touches or ideas? I feel that's your thing.
I mean, I think you just sort of look at what their favourite colours are, what their style is, and kind of go with that, so it feels like it's their table for them and makes it feel really special. I mean, if you know what her favourite flower is, and you can have little bud vases with things like that, I think it's
nice.
Really thoughtful little touches. And then I would definitely have some kind of, especially as a sister, I mean, you must have pictures of her like kind of wandering around naked as a toddler at bath time or something. Kind of funny little pictures maybe just sort of around, but really tastefully, subtly done. And then, well, I presume the menu's been thought out, but kind of favourite foods and just all that kind of,
that's
just
nice.
things that they love.
I like the picture idea. Lou?
So nice. Yeah, all that sounds lovely. I'd like to go to that dinner. Fun games. I love a fun dinner party game.
Do you?
I
I
think-
can't
well, I
stand
would do it
them, so I'm not the
maybe-
best person to
And
ask.
actually, one thing you could do would be a quiz about
Yeah,
her,
no,
like
that's a good
how
idea.
well do you know?
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
And it could even be multiple choice because you could actually
Yeah.
have quite a lot of fun making up
Yes, that's
ridiculous answers that
Yeah,
everyone knows
yeah.
they would never do, or maybe throw in some red herrings in
Yes.
there.
No,
you
that's
know,
a really good
teach
idea.
her they had a crush on or silly things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do something like that.
No, that's a great shout.
So nice.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Great. Well, Georgina's come with all those tips, so thanks, Georgina.
Yes, it's Georgina Party Planning.
For all your needs. I think we'll leave it there. Thank you both so much, and thank you for watching and listening. If you've got any questions for us, please do email us at podcast@shillets. We love hearing from you. And please don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and tell your friends. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.